Welcome to my show. This is Brenda, Power Medicine Woman, and I am grateful to be here. As I'm waiting for people to come in, I'm also waiting to be connected up and downloaded with information. So earlier, I could feel all of these energies of people waking up to their particular habits, emotions, beliefs, the hells, the particular way their life is personally happening. Now, what I find that interesting is when that happens, when you tune into those particular frequencies, you can get lost. Hello. So before I get into more of that story, I have put up a bunch of tiny videos and things like this. One is about a review, and the other one is, the other two were short little segments. We did a healing in 5 minutes in the one, and then a reading and a healing on another. Now, you may have noticed my hair. Now, I don't understand. As I'm getting ready to comb it, I just all of a sudden felt this compelled energy for a new look. Now, we don't always have to listen to the other side. They're just suggestions, especially the ones that come from our loved ones that are in a higher frequency than us. But, sometimes you have people, oh, yay, the sharing has begun. You have frequencies on the side. I still call them people because they are. They just don't have that human aspect of skin that we can see in this frequency. So it's a good point. We talked about sharing. Now I'll see if I can get on to see, when Lenore pops on. Probably be good to have that ready, right? So anyway, someone from the other side decided they wanted to do my hair. I don't know whether it looks good or not. It looks great, thanks. But it just, you get so used to the way you look in one direction, and it just looks funny when you, I don't know, I'm just not used to it. I feel like I'm in the 80s. I don't know. But over the years, you get to see how much you've changed and you've developed, and my face has developed differently. But I feel like I look younger to some degree. It's odd. But it's that belief system. And I love to see all these names. Oh, there's a new one or two. Hello. And how we do this, again, is as if we share. You let us know. Then Lenny, hopefully she's there. Usually I do the show at 1, I think. Yeah. I always get confused on what day it is. Now, I'm hooked in. I can feel it. What does that mean? When you are just being human, it is part of being in that matrix of the ego, the paradigm, the group consciousness. It's like how everybody thinks. As you begin to wake up, what does that mean? When you begin to listen with your heart and your higher self, which is your authenticity coming through, and it sits there and it can't interfere unless you engage it, that you are learning to go with the flow with it. It's like saying, okay, God and Jesus can't interfere, the angels can't interfere with your life unless you ask and you engage, because we are supposed to find out what we are and what we're not. But we get caught up in getting hooked into our over-identification, which is the ego. Ego is that electromagnetic being, which is what we all are. But ego is the electromagnetic guiding omni-apparition, which means it's going to come into learning how to create reality, learning how to create a vibration that you can slow down to see and accept. You obviously are doing it so wonderfully because you have me in front of you. You have your phone or your camera or your computer or whatever it is. So you are doing it. You just don't realize you're doing it. When you intentionally do something to help yourself grow, and you're hooking into that authentic part of you, you will then learn to listen with your heart and with that higher aspect of yourself, which is how God streams through. It is a way that you connect through instead of just being lost in the ego, lost and over-identifying with matter. And when you think about something and the emotion is there, that's okay. It's a memory. You can construct it or you can remember it. But if it's owned by you, that means it's hopeless. Every time somebody acts up, you're going to go into maybe a sad state or in a reactionary state of being negative too. Watching Dr. Frasier Crane, Frasier. It's amazing when you look at how it is. They're always supposed to be mad, bitter, angry, always upset, always in reactionary mode. Now, the humor's funny, but how many times have you walked around in a day and just go, I mean, think about how it is that you feel and react. Because when you begin to notice this, you're going to start noticing the personality you're taking on. I mean, soon it'll become your temperament. So you'll be walking around bitter, grumpy pants, don't like that, don't like that. Oh, the way that people do that. And you become more judgmental. You become more separated from your true authentic self. You will become more unhappy. And when that begins, the universe is going to respond to you. It's going to respond to you in such a way that you're thinking, what the hell did I do to deserve that? Or why is everything always attacking me? That means you jumped in the effect side of the equation. When you're in the effect side of the equation, you're in ego mode. You're in victim consciousness. And things will happen to you. That is how you're going to view it. That's how you're going to believe it. When you move into the cause, this isn't about taking the blame. Oh my God, I did that. Okay, fine, I take the blame. No, that's not it. It is standing in your higher self, looking through your ego, looking through like, oh, yeah, I could see that I'm always angry, or I could see. It's not about feeling like you just got your ass kicked and somebody's pointing out your flaws and your pride has to be hurt. I mean, if you are doing that, then your ego, you're listening as your ego. But that's not who you are. That self-talk is not really you. And you can stop those. You can change that self-talk. Okay? So it's so important that you pay attention to how you listen. If you're listening through your ego, then you're going to be reactionary. You're going to be in the effect side of the equation. You're going to be more victimhood. You're going to be more upset, maybe more narcissistic, more, you don't know. You can be happy while you're in the ego. You can be sorrow in the ego. You can be an ego all the time, and yet always trying to muster up a smile, like life is just always happening to me. I'm a victim. If you feel like you're a victim, understand, stop. Say, I don't want to be a victim anymore. That means you have to pay attention to what you say and what you hear, how you react, how you feel. Are you listening with your heart? Because most of the time, people don't listen with their gut, their heart, or their higher self. They listen to the ego, the over-identification, the owned emotion. What do I mean by owned? When you decide to listen to just your ego and not your authentic self or your heart, you're going to put up walls. You're going to be seeing through a lens that's going to say, did you see what they did to me? And you're going to use that rational, irrational thinking to protect yourself, go into survival mode, and you won't see what truly is happening. You'll miss the message. And you can get caught up in that world because then you're going to vibrate other people to do that to you. or to stand as a minion and root you on to say, yeah, still believe in that shit because I do too. And it's okay to identify. It's okay to say, oh my God, you know, that song so speaks to me because that's what I'm going through. I mean, yeah, we're all going to go through it. The point is just don't take up residence there. Don't build your home in that. But if it feels like it doesn't stop and you feel like you have to take up your home there, then you need to find tools. You need to find resolution tools. You need to find healing tools. And I'm not talking about alcohol, you know, staying up late, smoking cigarettes, doing drugs, escaping, trying not to feel, suppress it, you know. No. I'm talking about what is your right, your authentic right to actually change it. You literally can change it. You have to remember, 80% of the blood leaves your forebrain and goes into your limbs to fight and flight. So what, you say? Your forebrain is where you create reality. But when you're stressed, you don't create reality in how you want it now. You're creating it based on what happened to you in the past. You're creating it based on your programs. You're creating it based on those emotions that own you. Your immune system's listening. It's eavesdropping all the time on your self-talk, on the environment. Your immune system becomes that. So if you're grieving all the time, the immune system is going to be programmed to grieve all the time. I mean, if you got any questions of what I'm saying, please write them in there and I'll explain further. So when you're in pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, we have them. They're growth spurts. They are to help you go into that next stage of incompetence, unconscious. But when you make it conscious, you become more competent. You begin to move into that next direction. What does that mean? You begin to evolve. You begin to grow. You begin to see things, hear things differently. I mean, most of you don't even realize you're a sensory being. Yeah, we have sensories. No, a lot of times when you're stressed, you know, most people can become more visual. And then if they get visual, they may go into the construct side of things, which is your right. And you're going to construct, which is anxiety. It's thinking about how it's going to happen. Your RTJP is your right temporal junction parietal lobe. So what? Because that's part of the brain that helps you think what other people think. And if it gets twisted, or if it's programmed differently, or if an emotion is trying to control it, then you can go to irrational, rational behavior. You can go into high beta. You're thinking all the time, worrying all the time, anxiety all the time. You can run into your timeline going, this shit's going to happen, even though it may not. There are options galore, and most of the time we hug on to what we know because it's familiar. It's what we think keeps us safe. But that's not you. It really isn't. To be able to really know who you are, you need to step out of that matrix that you call life that you're living in. This is why they tell you to meditate. This is why they tell you to go into the next brainwave. They tell you to, you know, and you think, oh, that's just... What surprises me is that as I began to wake up, I did the exact same steps you did, or do it. I found God, and then I started to define who God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit was. And then I started to really listen with my heart and my mind. And then I started to listen to my heart and my higher self. And then I already had the ability, as everybody has them, you know, but it's how you tap into them. You know, so what do you do? What do you do? And that is you learn to stay in that frequency, because you can raise your vibration all you want, but if your brain is still over here in the effect side of the equation, then you're just going to be taking and bringing on a lot of hell you don't need, because you're saying that you want to be happier, But yet at the same time, you haven't let go of anything. You haven't changed anything. You haven't used a tool to help resolve that pattern, and more shit's going to happen to you. So I'm just going to take a second. And as I look over here, so somebody says they're taking prayers. That's good. When I see your beautiful faces and your names, I always ask, that you're put into a prayer. And then when you have certain emotions, certain things that seem to plague you, I always ask that you can start hearing with your heart and that you can connect with your higher self. And I'm praying that you can hear what you need to from spirit. And I'm praying for healing. I'm praying and I'm holding that energy space so that that small part of you that begins to wake up can grab hold of that hope and let God do the rest. I mean, you get to see the universe not to be attacking you, but it's responding to you. And then when you start to see that, and you begin to change and to heal. So I'm always praying for you one way or the other. Oh, thank you, Allison. She says, I appreciate all you do. You are beyond helpful. I hope that's not a bad thing. But hopefully that is to me and not the person that's, And so Jeanette says, what about when both of your parents have died? Is that question for me or is that question for somebody else? Because that's not really a question, is maybe as, what about it? Is it when it hurts? Does it painful? Is it the state of mind? Do you feel like, if we're talking about what I was talking about was a victimhood, you have to understand, I had, was in a relationship and their parents died, and you're talking about family, you're talking about, it's not blood, but you feel it. Now I've had my own issues there, but I was in the family, I'm trying to help out, and all of a sudden I heard their soul says, their souls were talking to each other, the husband and wife, and basically it was, I'm ready to go, and she was like, I'm not. Well, we have an agreement, we need to go together. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. And it was very interesting to watch this dance, because on the human form, in their ego state, not connected to their higher self or their heart, they were like, oh, we want to live, but yet, oh my God, I can't stand this. I mean, they're talking and their negativity and then they just weren't communicating inside. They were just, oh my gosh. And so when they both went 13 days apart, you're like, whoa. And I had to hold back and saying anything because it was not my right to say anything. Everybody's human. Everybody goes through things. So when the soul is ready to go, it's going to just blow our human minds. Because I had to wrap myself in my mind around it going, really? I had to learn this is what the soul does. I mean, our souls do not think humanistically at all. We think in forms of limitation and pain and suffering. But as you as the human, Jesus, that can hurt like hell. All the people that died on me, it's like, whoa, what? And easily you could shut off your heart and you're just like, I can't take any more pain. I don't want any more. But your heart is saying, okay, we need to open this back up again and we need to help. Now, what I help with people do is that I've had to use it on myself many of times. And that is when somebody dies, that pain, and you begin to heal those emotions so that your heart and your higher self can go, oh, I want to communicate and connect with them. And then soon you will. Soon, it's sad that they're gone, but you won't be focusing on their death. You won't be focusing on the loss. You won't be focused on what you can never have in the future. You're thinking about, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if you begin to heal that pain, then all of a sudden you begin to connect in another way that allows you to, oh my God, they're just a vibration away. I mean, that's the hardest part, is for people to understand that. And when my mother came to me, it was just such a, wow, she made it, Do I have any doubts? No, but I'm still shocked. I mean, my sister, she died, and my mother has already learning the ropes to communicate with two of me. I mean, my mother, now here's a hat. I'm in Australia. I used to live in Michigan. Here's this beautiful hat. It has Angora in it. Now, if you haven't heard the story is very simple. My mother was in the 50s. My mother loved when, Angora sweaters, poodle skirts. And she was trying to tell me that she was here. And I kept going, oh my God, is my mother here? And then I kept hearing, yes, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, Angora sweater. Where am I supposed to get Angora from? And of course, I was freshly new here. And I'm like, I don't know where to shop. I don't know where to go. And I had Lenore had come to the house. She had taken her hat off. We didn't see it. She left. And I said, oh, you left your hat here. She's like, yeah, just keep it. I'm like, this is beautiful. And I kept looking at it and I'm thinking, seems familiar. But then all of a sudden I hear, look at the tag, look at the tag. And I'm like, all right. I looked in it. It says 50% Angora. And I bawled because it was just so beautiful, because my mother gave me a present from the other side through somebody else. I just recently had somebody say to me, I need a reading from the other side if you can. I said, we'll see what happens. And just so happens that they came through, not who they thought it was, but they came through. And the cards were, I'm always with you. She had nothing but tumultuous things happen to her this weekend. And she's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And so what was happening was that they were helping to guide her and protect her, because there was just so much going on, so much going on. And when your water breaks and your car acts up and you want to go somewhere, but you can't, and you just feel like life's handing you a piece of shit. And yet at the same time, what if you're just emotionally exhausted and you really, you're tired? You need to just stop. And there are guides out there to actually help you in some form. So let's see. So there's a communication going on. Just wanted to catch up. Yes, I am very sorry for your loss. We can't find where their prints are. I'm not sure what she said there. Okay, let me tell you something. So somebody says, I've tried hard to make contact with someone very special to me who passed, and I just can't. It breaks my heart, and I just need something from this person. I've done almost everything. What can I do just to feel them? Okay, the first thing is that your emotions are going to interfere with every way possible. It doesn't allow you to carry a high vibration. They're just a vibration away. Just because they don't have a flesh body, that meat suit, but they are just a frequency away. Sometimes they have to go to school, go do things. They have to finish out stuff, do reviews. But majority of the time, as soon as you think of them, boom, they're here. Now, what I've learned is that over here on the left is the animals, over here on the right is the archangels, and back here are all your loved ones. And they sit there and they wait for you to come on, in hopes and chance that the vibration, the frequencies, will begin to match so that a meeting can take place, so a communication take place. At home, just allow yourself to use healing tools to get rid of the emotions, to resolve them out. You're still going to have the memories, but if you won't have them haunting you, they won't be blocking your ability to hear or to see or to feel, because we're visual, auditory, kinesthetic, self-talk, you name it. We smell, we taste, and we can block those so easy. I mean, I blocked when my boyfriend died in a car accident when I was 16, and all I wanted to do was connect. But I was so distraught. There was 2 years of my life I don't remember. I graduated from high school. I'm in college. What the hell? How did I get there? In accounting, of all things. And a few years later, my cousin comes over. Haven't seen him in a long while. He takes me to someplace in Detroit, and we go to this meeting, and I'm like, God, these people are a bunch of fruitcakes. You know, they're just a bunch of me's running around, but that self of me looking out going, oh my God, no way. They're crazy. It's fearful. They're doing wrong. And then yet my heart says, where are you getting all this language from? Who taught you all this? I'm like, oh my God, it's a program. Oh my God, it's all these stories from the movies, all the things that we're told to be afraid of. So I just said, okay. And I put my fears aside before I had healing tools, and I began to open up into a whole nother world. And this is the stuff that you can have abilities, but don't use them because you have fearful that you're going to hell. Okay? So it is connecting with them by helping to resolve those emotions, to allow yourself to begin to see clues. Okay? You know, my mother's favorite thing was lots of things, but one of the things that she came through was that my brother, he died when he was 18, and I was such a young girl. But during one of a meeting, we're listening to, I can't remember the psychic's name, but anyway, Lisa Williams, yeah, thank you. She says, oh, there's your brother, there's a mic out here, and he plays the guitar, and I'm thinking, oh, and then he's with John. I'm like, I don't know any John except for it's related to my sister. And the next thing you know, I got a reading, and Jesus, it was a family reunion. And I had my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I had my mother and my father, I had my grandma, my brother, and my boyfriend came through. And my boyfriend came through all the time. I mean, again, I was shut off. I found out that when I went to these angel meetings that, holy cow, my boyfriend's been with me all the time. And if you can't hear them, it's about not knowing how. I think I probably should write a class up on showing you how and giving you the experience of how, and you practice. And once you do these exercises, you should be able to connect with them. Pay attention. Pennies, feathers. Don't give them something hard that you can't figure out. I mean, like light flickering. I mean, I've watched people, oh, please give me a sign. And then a sign will happen. And I'm like, that was your sign. No, it wasn't. That was just the light flickering. I think you need to watch what you say and get in alignment with it, because you are asking and they're giving, and you haven't trained yourself to see it. Okay. See, and that's the thing. You can pay. If you feel like you want to connect, you can. It's $11.11. You pay $11 for 11 minutes, and we can do it right here. You can connect with me offline. You can set up an appointment, and we can, connect and do our best. I can't guarantee anything, but you'd be amazed at the things that come through. I mean, watch some of the videos. You can also share this, put your name in the box, and maybe your name will get called. Oh, thank you, Allison. She said it was directed to me. Oh, see, and the thing is my goodness, the having insurmountable of losses. I mean, I came in with the element of metal, which is grief. And I'm like, geez, that's part of my soul's lesson is about grief. And yeah, it is. And it's about change. And it's about looking at it not to be so dramatic. And just let you know, I all go through these videos and I read the comments, and sometimes I'll send out, I give you a card because, you shared, or, you meant the spirit comes through. I will sometimes just comment and send messages through it. Let's see. I just got to catch up here. I don't know where lost items are. I'm not trained in that area. I'm trained to listen to how your spirit, loved ones will come in and they're like, oh my God, this is the emotion that they're doing over and over and over. I can see their pattern because it was mine. And so they'll tell me how to help you connect with those particular emotions or those particular patterns, and then to heal them out and what tools to use so that you don't have to be clouded to have them control you. Numbers, signs, everything. Yeah. Feelings, thoughts, emotions. Thank you, Samantha. Says there's an amazing lady. Connect through music. Oh my God. Connecting through music? Yes. My mother and my sister, my mother is teaching my sister how to communicate to me. And I think that she's learning the ropes because my sister came through and I was doing a puzzle on my iPad and I'm going through and all of a sudden Benita's name just shot out. I felt her. I looked and this is Benita. And it's not something that's, obvious. And it's like, oh my God, my sister's here. Then we were traveling and we went to a fireworks display and the crowds were so bad that we took a side street and I walked right down the side street, didn't have my camera. And it was like Benita's hair salon. Oh my God, she was everywhere. Music. So it's on my birthday and we're coming home and everything. It feels like family's here, because I got telltale signs. That's the other thing, telltale signs, scratching of the head, voice crackling, little things. Why do I wear these? Because this is my vulnerability spot. And this is also very important that I get to stay me. So that song by Betty Who, I always will love you. And I realized it was a birthday present, and because I could see birthday candles and cake, and I started bawling because it was the best birthday present I ever had in my entire life from the other side. So you can get amazing gifts and love, and you'd be so surprised. Heal your emotions, heal those hells, heal the things that keeps your vibration low so you can't tune in. Yes, it's always at the right time, especially when your ego's busy. Okay, you understand? Your ego's busy. Like when I'm really tuned in and I'm helping somebody heal, all of a sudden I'm over here, I'm here, but my ego is doing this, but my consciousness is like, okay, get the ego out of the way. Okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to help you. And so sometimes I will watch myself do two different things, but yet spirit isn't, always there. And when you feel vulnerable, let me tell you what you want to do. Put your finger on your forehead and your finger in your belly button, push in and lift up and hold for like 2 minutes. You're going to create this energy around you. You are wonderfully electromagnetic beings. And when you start to use your electromagnetic, hands, you can start to connect things. And when you begin to know more about it and more about how electromagnetic you are, you're going to be amazed with yourself because you are a healer. Yeah, sometimes, like Steve says, they've delivered that they're immediately recognizable, and sometimes they're not. But you also have to carry, a certain frequency. Good, Samantha says, I healed my headache. It was stress. You have no idea how much stress really controls and damages the body. Thank you, Star. Yes, I'm having a wonderful time. Now, I know there's a time difference in United States and stuff like that, so they sprung forward. So it'd be late there. Okay, it's that halfway mark. Hopefully you've shared enough. I can start feeling they're all here. They're all rolled in as far as the spirits. We may want to get the show going too. I don't know. We could play the number game, or I could just draw something out of the box. Oh, probably should pay attention to. Yes, I need to pay attention to Lenore. Because she says spirit already drawn a card or drawn a name, and it's Sean Baldwin Smith. Are you here? Are you here? Ooh. Okay. Oh, there's, okay. Now, hopefully, Sean, are you here? It's Shaun. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Where are you from, Susan? She says it's 11:05. Ah, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So, yeah, I did get it right. So you guys did have your spring forward. We'll have our fall back, but I can't remember when that is. And hopefully we'll be back in the same time, or it's completely another time zone. I don't know. Never really paid attention. White collar. We got a priest here. Ah, it's gone with Shana. Oh, wait. Okay, spelled it wrong. Shani. Lenore, is that the person? So hopefully Lenore will kick in, but I think it is. Totally said it wrong. I'm so sorry. Wow. Those pieces of candy that look like, especially over here, I don't know if they're very much in the United States. I didn't eat a lot of lollies. But they look like a rainbow, and they have like a sugar coating or a sour. It's like, reminds you of going to roll it. I think it might be Shana. I think it is. Because, well, Lenore could have stepped away. Because it's too obvious that it's Baldwin Smith. So, I don't know what that was. Anyways, there's a whole lot of candies, and as I'm tuning into that candy, I feel that's connected with you, the Shana. Yeah, we call them fruit roll-ups. Yeah, but fruit roll-ups, Steve, is that flat, fruit gel things. These are lollies that look like ribbon strips, and with all the colors of the rainbow. Oh, it's yummy, but it does remind you of a fruit roll-up because you can chew it just like it, and has like a sugar coating or whatever. Lenore gave me some at Lilu's birthday. But yes, that's what I was thinking, fruit roll-up. Okay, Shana, you know what? We are taking, and that is you. That is who we're going to give our first reading to. Because regardless if it was wrong or not, Spirit says over and over, you're supposed to give her a reading. Okay. Do you have anything specific that you want to talk about? And you just won that first read. We're going to get this set up for 7 minutes. See, now they're coming through. Yay, Demi, you made it. Clear your head. So are you foggy, or are you talking to me? Her. Okay. Does she need a Wayne Cook? No. Clear your head. Oh, see, now here they come. I've never had been scratched on this side before. It's usually this side. So are you left-handed? What's the deal? Why are we doing things in awkwardness? You're petrified. What do you want to talk about? When lofty people come around you, when they got to puff out their chest and say that they're better than everybody else, and it looks like it makes cloudy thinking. It feels like you have just been in or around somebody like that. Do they pick their teeth? Do they, that could be somebody on the other side. That could be somebody here, but the messages are very much clear. They're coming through. It is that awkwardness that causes you to have a vibration of guilt inside your body, which causes inflammation. Do you have inflammation in your body anywhere? Okay, so I'm going to set the timer now. And if you're friends with me and we can do Facebook, the beautiful part of it is that I can call you and we can have a live session, so that people can hear you. I like those because other people get to connect Yes, you are definitely talking to her. Okay. You're waiting for her to respond. Well, okay. So they need to understand that there's a delay. So do you have, she is left-handed. Okay, see? I tuned in good. She goes, yep, left-handed. So how about the inflammation? Because there is something that your body goes into an reaction, and you're completely unaware of the fact is that oh, that's your telltale sign. Like I was saying, I cough, I scratch, I do, burps. These are signs from the other side that are trying to communicate. Like they always communicate with me on this side. All of a sudden today, it's like I got a touch here, which is like, wait a minute, that's unusual. So that's why I said left-handed. The awkwardness. Do you, and tell me more about this awkwardness. Turn the page. They like to give instructions too. So I'm going to turn the page and see what they say. She has a hidden heart wall. This will block it because this one, the vibration. Tell me more. It's the interaction with the environment. So do you have social I can't think of the word I want. Issues with being in the social environment. Consciously, I feel like you're grown. Your body says, girl, we're still in that stage of awkwardness. I don't care how much you try to psych yourself up. So the hidden heart wall comes when you were 7. Something about being on the stage. Were you ever ever doing stuff for stage? Okay, so just try to do the feedback the best you can, because they like to roll and give out information very fast. The hidden heart wall is based on what? It's based on being deprived. Now, some people think, well, I'm not deprived, but if you look back, they're talking about a root, whatever. It is in the past. Have you ever been deprived in the past? Time, money, food, shelter, warmth, attention. You're shy from what? They say now it is, oh, so if that's the case, you'll feel it in the body more. And then it'll be more of where people get confused and think, oh, that's intuition. Okay, and it's not really intuition as much as it's your sign to do what? Back off. Because if you engage in this, you're going to get deprived of something. So your little self, where did you go? Okay, so you still with me, hon? I'm hoping she didn't get disconnected. That awkwardness, especially with people that have a very strong ego. A lot of people are taught, if they believe something different, or if you believe something different, then they're meant to shame you in order for you to start believing the way they do. And you don't like this pressure, because then you feel like your voice is deprived. There's a part of you deprived that you can't really be. It takes you into their irrational thinking, which then confuses you, because they said that your head gets very cloudy. And that just means that your body's going into the stress mode. And it is like when you have all these goodies on the table, but you're too small to look up and go, oh yeah, I can choose this. But you can't, because all you can choose is what you see. And you haven't developed it. So it's like an arrested development. Fear of what? Fear of having one, or fear of developing one? This is interesting. They said that, you watch people and you're standing back. that you're like, I don't want to develop that habit. I don't want to develop that habit. So you keep yourself in a particular frame. So in a way, it's self-depriving. I'm not going to do that habit because you get a judgment or you believe you don't want to do that. Like I didn't want to follow in the line of drinking and becoming an alcoholic, or go in the line of this is the way that people think because that's how I grew up. I said no to all those, and then I healed a bunch of stuff out. And your body then goes into a particular state that, it's funny, they say when you watch them panic, you're like, no. I mean, yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know that you don't want to, because I'll tell you, my sister, she I watched her do things and I stood back as a 3-year-old and says no, and then now all of a sudden as an adult I'm having a hard time moving forward because I put those restrictions on myself. Who do you want? So there's a woman over here named Agatha, or Aggie, a nickname, something like that, and she's very confused of why you keep yourself tied up and doing a particular habit, because it really controls you into not allowing you to do certain things. You can step out of your comfort zone, but there are certain things that doesn't allow, if you know what I mean. She said some of these things, but I know why, and I'm good with that. Now, that's the thing. She says, no, you're so young. When this person sees your age, it's way too young to put a restriction so deeply on yourself, you know, but I'm just going to stop because I get it too. When there is something like that, you can resolve it. You can resolve the emotions that control that framework. And then it'll change and clear your head. And then that arrested development, you don't have to protect to keep yourself there. And all of a sudden you start to evolve very naturally, very organically. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is that when your soul is saying you have to be over here and you're here, no amount of your human self is going to keep you here. Your soul says that you got to get here. So there's consequences of when you say no. So what will come along are whispering opportunities to help you grow and to move. You'll get advice, you'll get tools, you'll get this. But if you keep holding on to that and your soul's, no, you're supposed to be over here, you're going to end up having bitch slaps. You're going to have things happen to you because you're not in the alignment with who you are meant to be on a soul level. And it's the way that we agreed that if we stay stuck as a human, what do? Well, you have to wake yourself up. You have to wait until something bad happens before you change your mind. I mean, Joan Rivers, for instance. My husband's got the money covered. Everything's great. She trusted. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to know about the bank account, all that. And then he died. She was forced to have to learn everything and to do all that. And it was just chaos because she had to deal, not only that she had to deal with the money and all that, but she had to deal with the fact that the love of her life is gone. You know, so we put ourselves in some of these predicaments so that we are forced to grow out of a position that we don't want to. But you don't have to feel alone and scared. You can actually heal those emotions that make you say you have to feel and believe that way. Okay? Thank you for playing. Hopefully it didn't scare you off or anything because you're very quiet. So, I don't know who it is. I know I'm not pronouncing the name right because names are not something that I was trained in. I was trained in emotions and feelings and patterns. I just can feel like this is a woman, very nurturing. Okay. So now I'm going to look here. It says Chandel, Rontaunay. Is there a Chandel here? So if there is, anyways, thank you for sharing, and that's great because this helps you, it helps me, and we pay it forward, and we keep the energy balanced. And like, you know, if people wanted paid readings, they can. I'm trying to maybe I'm not saying that name right. Lenny, if you can just type that name, I don't know if she can hear me or not, but if you can type that name in there, then, oh, yes. Oh, yay. Okay. Yay. I got it. Shana, I'm learning to be myself. Shani. You know what? It's not going to compute, but oh, I know I butchered it, and it's a beautiful name. I know it is. I can feel that. And thank you for letting me read you. Now, I'm going to say the other one name's wrong too. Chandel. See, again, if we, you know, if you could call in, that would be great. That'd be so great. I would so love to do that. Oh, you're welcome. See, that makes me feel good. There was a good response. Okay. So you got 7 minutes off. So before I begin to push that again, I need to make sure that you know, what do you want to talk about? Because regardless, people that are on the other side, or the angels, even your animals, can give you guidance on what's going on. They are very much aware of the frequencies. And I've had many animals that come through and saying, could you just tell my owner that, you know, and it's not the same of how you think an animal would think when they're alive, but these are when they're passed over, they can be on that same conscious wavelength, okay? So, Chandel. Cold read, anything specific? You can heal anxiety around people because it's the construction of how you look at things. All right, well, I know you're here. That delay always throws everything off into kilter. I feel like I've all of a sudden just shrunk. I feel smaller. Have you lost weight? Oh. Yeah, the live animals come through too. What? Are you talking about? So did you recognize awkwardness in that word before? Okay, so the Nan. All right, Nan. I felt somebody just kind of step up here and stopped because they feel awkward. That's interesting. They can't really see you. And why are you stepping into? Are you stepping into the human emotions? Oh, she's gonna do charades with me. Oh, okay. Awkward. Always gotta hide behind mama's skirt in the shadows. Always peeking around. I don't know if you get anxiety. Because all of a sudden it's like, why is my jaw? Why my jaw? I don't know if something happened to your jaw. Oh. Chandel lost 70 kilos. Holy shit! That's awesome! You know, sorry. My pound conversion to kilos to pounds. Wow! Congratulations. Is that why you were always hiding? Now she says you're judging. Oh, I don't know if you have skin flap or not. But she's judging herself way too hard. Okay, it's just like, ugh. All right, so take care of the things that you zero in on and bitch about yourself. She says it so stops everybody, the love and everything that's supposed to come to you, because now it's like you show people where your target is. You know, you're like, oh, I have issues in this area. So you then, because you believe a certain way and talk to yourself a certain way, you'll be walking down the street and you swear they're looking at that. Well, again, people follow energy. Kids are notorious for following energy. Don't touch that on the coffee table. You know, you don't have to speak. They're already going, ooh, they know what you're looking at. They will follow that energy. And so do adults that don't even know what they're doing. If you're used to being looked down upon, you're going to have somebody look at you and about ready to smile and they look down at you. Or they strip you down. Our energy gives people direction of how to treat us and what's allowed. Because if I don't stop you at screaming at me, then I'm saying, okay, you get to do it again. You get to do it again. Sometimes I pick my battles. Sometimes I'll just say, okay, you know what? Not accepted. I'm not choosing that emotion from you to create my reality. I'm not going to allow. You know, most of the time we don't stand up because we're afraid that they'll leave us or they'll stop loving us. And most of the time we're hooked up to these people that they shouldn't love us anyway. Why does their opinion matter? Okay. No, I haven't started the timer. Okay, fine. Okay. Grandma says, we got to set it right. At least, you know. Okay, so now. You have, I don't know if you have issues with lofty people, or she say, oh, what do you want? She's got to learn to stick out her chest and, wow, fight her battles. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. Why does she need to fight her battles? How about if she heals the shit that comes to her? I need her to read my files. Because why? When they read the files, then they know that there's an answer instead of having to come through. There's a lack of control. There is a strong, strong belief. And it was built into you when you were 4 years old that you have no control over anything. Somebody else does, but that person's not in your life anymore. You feel like you got to step up and be, no, sorry. She lives in reaction mode. Okay. She says when you do a reaction, you know, you're reacting, you need to stop. And I will tell her that, okay, what I will tell you is that you don't have to do it the humanistic way. You don't have to repress it. You don't have to, you know, fight it off, find minions and talk about it until it's, you know, you can't talk about it anymore, which is a good therapy, but yet it's not, because you're just keeping it and saying, okay, I'm ready to have it again in 2 more minutes. You know, so the shit keeps repeating itself. You got to stop it. And you literally need to use some healing tools. I mean, biggest one, this, you see this? See how simple? Oh my God. That's your, oh my God. You're touching the oh my God point. So the blood will come back to the forebrain. You're touching the hairline to help process out those negative emotions. And this button on top is like an emotional button for calming and starts to help calm it down. It's also part of your pineal gland. So when you begin to get the blood flow into the frontal lobe, which is about creating your reality, you can choose what emotions you want to help create the reality. You don't have to get stuck in the particular hells. Yeah, particular hells. That's interesting how she said that. She says, you will be so strong and you'll do. She says, but then it's like, here's your strategy, but the end ends up being like you're just hopeless. Oh, it's just hopeless to talk to them. It's hopeless even to try. What the hell? It's hopeless. And there is so much faith and belief in it, because they said that at 7 years old, your little self says, that's all there is. And those other parts of you are going, oh, come on, you're aging, you're growing, you're doing this. But you go back to the old program. Why? Why does she do that? Whoops. Why did she do that? Because the program of her being attacked. She forgot how that moment just prior to why she accepted hopelessness is that she was attacked verbally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually attacked. Spirit on the side. No, she was attacked basically on vibration. Okay, let me explain, people. Oh, yeah. Who else is here? A strong father figure. Hold on. So if somebody walks in the room and they have bigger than life energy, or you feel their emotions, and if they're angry, they don't have to say a word. They can just give you a look, or the energy just bounces off them. Does she resonate? No, she just absorbs. You have a tendency to absorb. And the biggest thing that you absorbed was that this person made you feel like shit, made you feel it. I'm going to make you feel like shit. I'm going to make you feel like shit. Literally, it was like, I am in a bitter state of mind, and this is the way I think all the time, and this is how I'm going to do it. And the thing is that you absorbed it, but you felt it as an attack. It came at you. The energy came at you very strong. So it felt like an attack. Okay, so anything else? I love you. Okay. And thanks for inviting me, she says. Thanks for inviting me. So I don't know if that's for you or for me. But you can heal that out. The biggest way to do it is this way. To get it out on a permanent level, I would definitely say we would use hope therapy. You can use EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is tapping while you're thinking and feeling and moving your eyes. I highly suggest that, because on the left, it's all about remembering, and then up above is about smelling. I came in with, I mean, everybody does this, but you connect with smell. The first time you're born, you're smelling for the vibration. Yes, this feels safe. I need to find milk. You know, you just, but, and then on the right, it's about constructing, you know, using your imagination. This is what it's going to be like. And oh my God, you think, and this is where a lot of anxiety comes from, is because you're sitting here. And the only reason this is here is because you're sitting it in your memory. We've got to get the communication to happen. I help a lot of people out. This is why people will make appointments with me, so we can dig deep and get rid of them. It goes boom, 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 boom. They can go really fast. You know, so when you're ready for that, you know, you let me know. Wonderful. Okay, good. There was a connection. Love it. It was supposed to be a heart, not a thumbs up. Give me a second to catch up with the energy. Oh, it just switched. Oh. And this is the beauty of it, Star, is that when the information comes through, it's talking about the paradigms. It's talking about how things are, and how one person's story can help another. And you know, you don't have to be stuck in a particular way of living. I mean, when you are swallowed up and just climbing to your hole, you're never going to grow. That's called a paradigm. And if you're bitch slapped into forced to growing, that's because your soul said, you know what? We made a promise to each other that we need to be over here and not there. So then you get your wake up call. Sometimes that, hi, Gwen. Somebody's aunt just arrived. An Aunt Gwen. My Aunt Gwen? Hold on. Did my Aunt Gwen just arrive? Oh. I said, it says, hi, Gwen. All of a sudden, my Aunt Gwen's here. She's looking at the animal. She had apparently a couple. I told you they're just a thought away. Okay, so if you want a connection, you can pay for it, $11 for 11 minutes. We can do it on the air. If you're friends with me, we can call, or you can share the video, and that will put your name in a box, and then you get a chance to win. Sure, we can do that. Okay. Now, even though your name's in the box, Spirit wants to hone in. And let me trust me, Spirit has got some intentions today. And we're going to play the number game. But first, I have to get a piece of paper and a pen. And you're going, whoa. There's so many people here. Hold on. Stand back behind the line. I got to rein in to make sure they know what they're talking about. And why is it now? Someone's giving me a headache. You're too close. Bullshit. Somebody thinks this is bullshit. Well, welcome to know. You don't have to like this, and I'm not your vibration. No, that's too obvious. Hold on, they haven't decided. I'm letting them pick the number, but okay, I got a number, people. 1 through 50. And I'll look, and the first person, ooh, somebody's hungry. Food-wise, I think. No, water. Somebody needs water, but they are eating because they think that they need food, and this is thirst. Another person feels like they need chocolate, which is about craving a love. So somebody's craving love, but you're eating, and it's, yeah. Why are we talking about food issues? Oh, issues. Anybody have food issues? Okay. So, and they're all trying to shout out, you know. So, oh, stop. Rihanna, you've got it. 17. 17. Rihanna, I got a question for you. Did James like his reading? So this, I went to a birthday party, little Lilu, Lenore's beautiful daughter, and I met up with Rihanna and her husband and their cute little adorable daughter. And I'm standing, I mean, first I'm noticing all of the energies around just her, Rihanna. I'm like, and they weren't really talking to James. They weren't really about the baby. They were about her. And I'm like, And I'm standing there talking to her, and everything's fine. All of a sudden, I'd swear my sugars were off. And I felt like my whole world was crashing all of a sudden. And I started getting hot, and I'm like, oh my God. So I went and sat down. And I couldn't get my equilibrium back. And I realized, I said, stop. All right, Spirit, if it is true, if this is it, so be it. And I waved my magic wand to my finger. And so I listened, and they said, yes, there's a woman standing next to her that wants to give her a reading. And it wasn't even her. It was her husband, because all of a sudden she says, I want so much for Rihanna to I don't want to say let me in. It's not like the movie Ghost, and it can happen, you know, but it's about connecting and then allowing me to connect with my son. So it was beautiful. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, except for I felt like I was invading his space, but, you know, I asked permission first, didn't I? I hope I did. Sometimes when they take and, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything that you want? Okay, she's stopping my. Is this? Wow. Huh? Clear my throat. No, you don't get to do that. There is an inherited issue for longing. We're just going to jump in. Rihanna, I know you have your adorable daughter, but if you wanted to call in so people could hear, that's doable. And then we could do, this is like a very particular healing they'd like to do. She's pushy. Yeah. Oh, good. I did ask. Okay. The idea of longing, because it's inherited. That means you brought it through the bloodline. They couldn't resolve it. They couldn't resolve it. And this has gone back 7 generations. So 5 minutes. Okay. So what happens is we're going to take and because it's an inherited longing, we're going to do a healing. You can do this at home. You can do it at the same time. You can do it later. But I'm just going to connect in, put on the bandwidth, and we're just going to do this. And we're going to say inherited longing, 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 inherited longing. Felt that disconnect. Inherited longing, inherited longing. We're going to give it two more. Inherited longing, inherited longing. And what is that? That is our governing meridian, which is an energy. That's why I tell you to hold these points. And inside of it is trapped emotions that can be anywhere in the body. And what we did was that we could feel it remove. Well, you want to call. Yeah, I would like that. I'll call you. Is that possible? I got to hook up this thing. We'll see if we can get her to hear this. Oh, wait, did I tab it on?
Line in mode.
Well, yeah, apparently I turned it on. At least we got a line in mode. And I plug it here. And try not to make too much noise. Plug that in there. And then I have to find you. And there's your cute little face. Okay, so if we are ready, I'll reset the... Okay, ready, sweetheart? Oh, we're going to call you right now. That delay is so weird. Anybody can hear that? Is my volume up? Yep, it's full blast.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to check to see if everybody can hear. And can you hear, Rihanna? Tell everybody.
Hello.
Good. Say your name so that I.
Oh, that's right.
So they've got a little bit of. What's your daughter's name again?
Aubrey.
Aubrey. See how beautiful? Okay, I think we got a good enough connection. And so Madison, do you hear it? Because she says, oh, it must be different on my phone. Oh, wow. Well, I hope you have a good reading. Sorry. Is anyone else buffering, freezing? Oh, no, I hope not. Okay, not sure what's going on. I know that I can hear you. And I know that Star can hear, Beth can hear. So sometimes it can be your phone or your internet, wherever you're at. Okay, so now just to catch up, what I've said so far, does it resonate?
Yes.
Okay, so the longing, now you know how strong that is emotionally. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm checking, and they said we rolled it out, but you still have longing for a particular outcome. They, she says that you get it confused with, so do you do law of attraction?
Yes.
Okay.
But
So
in practice.
Okay, so understand that hoping,
In the back.
hoping is not going to get you anywhere. Okay, and that's the same for longing. What the difference is a hoping is it's a deep-seated feeling of, oh, I long for it, and so the frequency drops and it feels like it's not going to happen. When you're doing it, you have to say thank you. Okay, thank you for this, and that vibration goes up. And then you imagine, just like you had a baby, you're like, oh, when you would go, oh, I wish I had a baby, longing, but now you have a baby, and you can say, oh, thank you for the baby. Now it's after the fact, but you need to bring that energy back into alignment to understand that removing the longing and the hopelessness, which is hoping, I hope is a different tone. That is, see the light, know it is true, make it so. They said that your particular outcome that you want, sometimes you feel is too far-fetched, but you don't understand the full story. And they said, there's a part of you, a part of them, so whoever it is that's with you, avoids you because there's another story going on. So I'm assuming this means James. So do we want to continue that particular thing we were talking about?
We can. He's here too.
Oh, well, hello. Okay, so I'm setting the timer now. So he's okay with it? Okay. Rihanna, is he okay with me talking about this?
No, he's fine.
Okay. Deep down, I'm asking for you because it's your reading, but it can be through him. But they said that there's a part of you that goes into anger because that particular outcome that you want has not happened. But the backstory is that the alignment that you want is that, I'm going to say, you hook up your boat to him, and they're saying that the interaction with, it's a bell. The interaction with him, so he'll pick it up, not on the conscious level, but it'd be like a bell. And how does it show up? Is that it's frustration. And he learned at 4 years old of what frustration was, and it's hooked as a bell inside of him. So when you're trying to come and talk about one thing, his will come up and go off, his bell will go off, and then you'll both be out of sync of when you're trying to communicate. Okay, so, how I'd remove that would just say, use a magnet, just like I just did, and you would put bell, and, oh no, I've just completely lost my train. Why did you do that? Frustration. Bell, frustration, bell, frustration, bell, frustration. Again, you get to watch this later. Oh, okay, the bell shifted. Okay, so now they say it's a habit because he's trained himself to give you a reaction every time frustration. This is not just you, it's people around that does that particular frequency. He's so used to that bell going off. It's like a tuning fork, okay? It vibrates and it continuously did that. Now it's changed, but he needs to pay attention to when he goes into being frustrated. Does he really need to choose that? Because now the bell's gone, it's going to change it. Now, you and your particular outcome, they said that you get so overwhelmed by it that it becomes not a possibility anymore. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you were taught to be disdainful of it, have complete contempt. I mean, really look up the intensity of what disdain is. And they said that, what are you saying? They're saying that this is your defense mechanism. So he gets into that frequency, and then you go into your defense mechanism, and then you completely are shifted out of alignment, out of sync with one another. And then all that's running are these particular emotions and vibrations. Do you want her to clear that? It's not about clearing as much as paying attention that this is a defense and that you don't have to become defensive. Because they said at 2 years old, you had learned how to be defensive because you were always told no, and that you had to play along with everybody else's agenda. As you started getting older, you're like, no, I'm not playing along with everybody's agenda. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a family divorce when I was 2. You picked that up.
Oh, so there's your major connection. So, yeah, that's what controls the particular outcome. So what I would definitely say is pay attention to how you go into defense mode, because is it something we could pull it out by looking at how the emotion is. We could use hope there if we can pull that out. But in the meantime, because it's a habit, you can actually say, wait a minute, I don't have to be defensive. Okay? And you can tune into spirit and say thank you, so you can see something different. Same for when you do your wanting stuff in the future. There's more going on to the story. There's all of these spiritual issues that happen behind the back door that just causes things to be out of alignment. It's when we heal our shit that we can become more in aligned with the ones we love. Does that make sense? Well, I appreciate you playing.
Thanks for letting me be a live call.
Yeah, do you like that?
It was cool.
Yes, well, I plan on doing it more. So thank you for demonstrating to others that this can be done. So rewatch this later. I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes in, or hour and 14 minutes in, or whatever. Watch it again and look at the healing. Listen to what I said. Really get to understand it. And you both can become more and more in sync with each other if you begin to do some of the tools. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, dear. You have a good day.
Thanks, Georgia.
Bye.
Bye.
See, and that's how quick it can be, and it can be fun, and oh, somebody else is here. Oh, that feels weird. Oh, watch party shared. Love it, Star. Love it. You know, like I said, people will just jump out at me. And your energy, they said that they just want to give you a card. I don't know who it is. And that's apparently the one. It's a native spirit. And hopefully the deck, yeah, the card's here. And you got Shapeshifter. What is Shapeshifter? Blah, blah, blah. You have to know my ABCs. There we go. This is the card. It's actually very pretty. And we need to have these readers. Card reading. You can be anything you desire. Let go of attachments to your identity. See the world around you with new eyes. Now, the attachments can be those emotions that says you have to be a certain way, a particular emotion that controls you. Boy, they're compelled. They're compelled. The environment controls you, they said. Be malleable. Okay, experiment with different ways of viewing reality. See the point of view of others. If you haven't been able to manifest your dreams, maybe you need to shift the way you see the person or situations. Your native spirit wants you to know. In earth-based cultures, shapeshifters had the mystical ability to transform into other forms of consciousness. Ooh. It said that these beings are not imagining that they were changing a specific animal, plant, or stone. They could actually morph into another shape. Just because most people today don't think it's possible doesn't mean that's not true. So it's in the belief system. This card chose you because it wants you to know that your past does not need to equal your future. Simply shifting your point of view on your belief system can bring an entirely new destiny into being. So the journey to deepen your ability to shapeshift, simply imagine that you're an animal, bird, plant, or stone. Make it as real as you can. Do this deepening your ability to shift your beliefs and limited decisions, and that perhaps have held you back from fulfilling your highest destiny. I mean, that's a lot of wonderful words to really take a look at, because we are very much controlled by our beliefs. People don't realize it. You know, it just happens. We believe it. And our enemies, we believe them. They think that, you know, consider the source. They don't. But somehow we want to tie ourselves to them. You know. Okay, that energy just shifted. And all of a sudden, I just shrunk again. You may not feel it, but aura-wise, you would. Am I afraid of these beings? No. Because you got to remember, I'm connected up to a bandwidth. My consciousness streams into this physical body. I don't have to believe horror signs. I don't have to believe certain ways. The biggest thing is that if a person can convince you of their truth about something, you can morph into their reality, but you don't have to. Oh, I love birds. I love birds. I got cockatiels. We had magpies come up to us yesterday and goes, hello. And we're like, hello. Fear of letting go. Who would you be without that identity? Think about it. Who would you be without that identity? We have another 10-minute read. I can break it up in two, or let's see. I got to read this. I can't see it. How do just feel a huge connection. Now, is that from you? Because if you feel like you need to, then do it now, or we can do that afterwards. Are you referring to you or somebody else? I need to know that really quick. And that is you're talking to somebody that's spoke to me through, now I know who it is. Okay, the name didn't come through. Yes. How do you do it? Madison. PayPal. Do you have PayPal, hon? Okay, so she says that I have a huge connection to the live feed that I've never felt before. You go through PayPal, and it's, if you have PayPal, I'm looking into other stuff I haven't done before, and you're going to type in my email. Okay, now notice that it says bpower.mw at dr.com. Okay, that is what you type in, and then you type in the amount. Oh, I almost ended the video. Okay, don't do that, Brenda. I love when they can stop me and I don't screw up, or maybe I'm not the one that screwed up. Okay. Don't I look small? Something else is going on. I don't know where I'm looking. Classes. Tell me what kind of classes you want. We can design many. They have a lot of things in mind. Oh, and people are saying they can't get notified. You have to understand, you can, when you're friends with me or you're up there in that fan page, you can say get notified. But sometimes you may say, oh, I've got like 10 other people and it says I can't notify anymore. Change your list. Take some people out, add me in, however you want to do it. Know that I'm sticking to Monday and Tuesday to do the live feeds. One is at this time and the other one is at night or early in the morning, depending on which particular where you're at, your time zone. I don't know what that snort was. That was funny. Okay. So, Lenore, when you go into when she types in my email, she puts HTTP, it pops up with it. So if you can get it to stop auto-correcting you, there's no HTTP : // It is just strictly an email. Just think of email, okay, which is bpower.mw. Because I can feel this person wanting to connect through. And so while we're waiting to see if it happens, when it happens, I'm going to do another. So, you holler out me, and I will have Spirit grab a card. Spirit is the one that's going to give you, this one. And before we even have people, seriously? Okay. We're just going to do one quick card. Nobody wants one? Well, I heard of delays. Oh. Yeah, I didn't end it. Still going. Wow, am I entered a time warp? Okay, I'm assuming Vicky says that's a me. All right, Vicky. Vicky. Be impeccable with your word. Become a white magician. All the magic you possess is based on your word, and you cast spells all the time with your opinions. You can either put a spell on someone with your word, or you can release someone from a spell. I forgot what the deck is. 4 Agreements. Oh, that's a great book, by the way. Okay, so you get one little card. It's like, again, I'll go through these feeds and I will end up, I will end up sometimes throwing out a So with Madison, it says express your love. Impeccable of the word. Be impeccable with your word. Be measured by your level of self-love. If you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others, and that action will produce a like reaction. Okay, it's what you sow is what you reap, pretty much. All right, turn it around the right way. There we go. So, Beth. Really? Oh, okay, Beth. Scales of balance. These are, oh my God, I need the deck. Isis. Scales of balance. Balancing give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are ways to heal the relationship between the inner masculine and feminine energies. Connection with the body is the most powerful form of healing of the feminine energy, as it holds the secrets to divine feminine wisdom. So dance, sing, play. Okay, that was for Beth Williams. Shauna, you're supposed to get one of these too. Divine Guardian. This is a time of significant spiritual growth and healing for you. You are protected during these times by the love and the strength of Divine Mother Isis. Relax and allow your transformation to happen. Your Divine Guardian protects you now. Let go. Trust unconditionally in what is happening to you, as there is only divine love beneath the surface of your present situation. The backside is just words. Okay, we'll do. So I'm double checking. I don't think anybody paid, and if not, Lenny, is there one more person that you can draw in? And I'm going to. Where is it? I've completely lost where I'm at. I've lost the plot. No, not this deck. Gotcha. Trina, and then Amy. So, okay. So yeah, this is definitely Trina. There's a hand reaching in to grab the. Okay, so this person deliberately came through and says, you gotta have this one. Be impeccable with your word. Release the need to be right. When you believe something, you assume you're right, and you may even destroy relationships in order to defend your opinion. Let go of the need to defend your position. I would say heal that. See, the backside's this. Definitely heal that, and that was for Trina. And Amy, we're going to do that one, and then we'll see what happens. Shame. Who's got a lot of shame? Shame is controlling you into making all your decisions. Like, I may make the wrong one. I may make the wrong one. It's not that you make the right one to make the wrong one. So you must have made and had an opinion and a thought, and then somebody comes along and shamed you. And that's what I said in the beginning. Maybe it was you I was supposed to be talking to. Always do your best. Don't overdo. Always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. Okay? That was for Amy Lopez. Okay, so you're welcome. Yes, Madison, for 11 minutes, do I go straight to PayPal and pay using pay? Yes, that is the email address. When you go to PayPal, if you have an account, that helps. They're supposed to be changing it so that you, what do you want to call it? It looks so different. I don't know who this is. I really don't know if I like my hair like this. I'm gonna change it. I'm not that person anymore. PayPal is not that hard. Once it's scary because you think you're going to send it to the wrong address. That's the biggest thing. Now, once I get Windows Update and stuff like this, then what will happen is the ability to maybe have Facebook cash options, because they don't really show me how to do that, and I haven't got an iPhone. I don't have a phone at all. I know. Catch up to the times. When the time's right, it will happen. Excuse me. Oh, there's an anticipation. Holy cow. I'm not sure what that feeling is. Whoa. I see nothing. Okay. They're like, well, you're not going to go. I didn't say it was going to go anywhere. Help her get through then. If she can't get through, help her get through. I know. They're talking in my head. That just doesn't sound right. You know, having a meeting. Okay. There is Empowerment2bu tribe. That is a tribe. That is what I'm, if you are interested in this stuff and this tribe, so I put up some videos and I'll be putting up other little things that you can help to do, like for breathing and help to be gratitude and help to, you know, and you see empower, the number 2, the letter B, the letter U, Empower2bu tribe, and, you know, ask to be invited. And it's about growing. It's about participating. It's about being a tribe together. And when that happens, then you can, let me check again. Okay, so there's a connection. Is there an interference? Okay, so we need to ask Spirit to change this interference so that it's gone. Clear it away. No, I have nothing yet. If you have it, if you sent it, take a picture of it saying that you sent, and then I can tell you whether or not, and then send it to me, and then I can see whether it went correctly, or it's proof that you have. Well, we'll work out the details. There's only like one person that it said pending, and then their bank canceled it, but then they never got in contact with me again. So I don't usually do the pending ones. All right, don't be confused, honey. Just go to paypal.com. Okay? And when you go in there and you want to send money, you hit send, and out pops who you wanted to send it to. So then you would put my email for the amount, and then you normally just send it. And hold on, we have it. You did it. You did it. It was just being a little slow. Because the connection, your payment from Madison is on hold. Oh, why? Must have put it in as a. I'm gonna trust this one. And if there's any complications, then I'm going to trust that you're going to correct this. And so we will let it go and slide at this point, okay? Now, you can call so we can have a communication faster. You can, or we can just do it online. So yes, I have got your money. And Madison, if you want, like I said, I will, even though it's pending, I'll accept it. Because this is more of a service, or, you know, soon as stop saying that. So there's a transition word. Some people get their thoughts caught. So she scrambled. Okay, that's fine. We'll just unscramble it and go from there. So we'll do it online. Star says, except you gave her the service. I had the problem before, or changed it with friends and family payment. Yeah, that it can get tricky sometimes. From what I learned, as long as they said, send it as a family, or send in money instead of service, and because sometimes, I don't know if you accidentally click product, but when people say, okay, this is family, then they don't have really any problems. But oh, here it comes. Okay, I can feel that. There's something. Okay, now I don't know if it's from you or from somebody else, but what I'm getting is the fear of being alone. So now the question then becomes, oh God, there's a panic. What's the panic? Abandonment. I think we have some animals coming through too. Really? Let's quit it. So if you have animals, it's just a habit now. It's just a habit. It's just a habit of thinking. So there's anything that hooks that habit. So you observed in your environment. You observed in your environment, this is how you're supposed to be. This is what an adult does. It's supposed to worry. It's supposed to have these. You get a dog. You get another person. Not identifying themselves. Oh, what do you got? It reminds me of a small family. I don't know what that is. I see a tall person, a short one, and an animal. They're saying they just want to jump in because they're afraid they're not going to have enough time. So what you learned as a child is the RTJP, which is the right tempo junction parietal lobe, is to think what other people think. You're supposed to think what other people think at all times. At all times. Oh my God, that's awfully chaos in my head. The only person that's supposed to live in your head is yourself, your higher self. You can control the ego. So some things that you were taught, this is how you're, like when you're driving a car, you're supposed to be then like you're the other driver so that you can watch on the road, and you're supposed to have, there's so many things and so many rules. They're saying that maybe it's time to go back and to reevaluate those rules because they're archaic. They're saying archaic. They're saying that when you have to follow certain rules, now they're pointing behind my eyes, which is the prefrontal lobe that has to do with depression. They said that because it's so much, you just go into depression. Like, there's too many rules, too many things, and you can get. So this becomes a habit. Now it's taken away my my ability to breathe. And they say that you have a very, very active memory going on. Not that you have an active memory. Okay, don't get confused. Oh, she's got an active memory. No, this is an actual memory that has become highly activated. And if I ask which memory, they say your 2 to 2.5 year old self. The active memory was she accused of having one? No, this is actually a memory. Give me more detail about this memory would be great. Oh, they whispered in my ear, because if you were to speak a certain way, behave a certain way, then the people would approach you in a very undesirable way. Does this make sense? You're not supposed to whisper. You're supposed to speak up. You're not supposed to talk soft. You're supposed to talk with determination, talk and intent. Raise the pitch, the volume, and timbre. They say you're thinking. Okay, that's good. We like the fact that you're thinking. Now, who is it? Do you have a Mima over here? A Mima. This person is saying this one. Saying around this one. I missed a card. No, I didn't. Okay, so Oh, did you mean call? Because online to me was this. If you want to call, give me I will call you. Because if that... No. All right, now they're confusing the hell out of me because they're waiting for you to respond. They are wait. I don't need to itch there. Are you there, Madison? Are you there? Because all of a sudden I feel this disconnection, and I stop the timer because I don't. Madison, are you here, honey? I mean, everything just shifted and switched. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm going to have... No, just the way you're doing it, please. Okay. Is what I'm saying doesn't make sense. That's also what I'd like to know. Okay, so they feel like you got disconnected, and I don't know if you tuned out. You can always re-listen to this again, but they're trying to get your attention. Honey, it's up to you. Because if you call, you can hear and we can have a communication. But at the same time, we can do it this way. It's not a big deal. But we do have to, woman holding a coin. So the cards that they picked, though, was Energy Oracle cards. And the card they chose was a woman holding it says women holding a coin. Do you want it reversed or upright? Upright. So here's the card. They want to make sure that they're connecting to you properly. They want to make sure you're getting this. They are really adamant about that. So they're like, we haven't been able to communicate or connect. I don't know who the person is. It's a representative of these people. I still see the tall man, the younger, and the animal. Female connection and money, health, or value. The elegant dressed woman on the card sits on a beautiful chair, holding a coin, a bright gold coin. When the card comes up in the woman's reading, it may refer to her directly and to success endeavor regarding her financial and health. This card could also signal a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. She may give you financial advice or connect with someone who does. This woman may be someone you met where you were to make money. They say that, I don't know if you were supposed to get an inheritance or with a thought. All right, I will call you. Let's see how that works, okay? We're going to stop just for a second, and hopefully it'll ring. Oh, it'd be helpful if I turn this quick on. She answered, but hold on.
Line in mode.
Now, can you hear me now, sweetheart?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so has anything I said made sense?
Sorry, I'm just trying to think. The memory of something when I was 2 years old, I can't really think of what that could be. But the only person who's passed in that I'm very close with is an older man.
Okay. Was he tall?
No.
Then I'm not sure who these people are. Because again, I want you to think of this older man. Let's just see if he'll step forward. But there is this particular energy here that wants you to be aware that you have an active memory. Or, yeah, this memory's going off. And when I ask, again, it's about reproach. So have you had people in your life that it was hard to reproach?
Not that I can think of. I never met my real grandfather, like my nana's dad. But he was tall, and he's been known to come through in other relatives.
See, that's you can't probably see the video, but I just realized as soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's who that is. I just don't know who the small person is or the animal.
Is the smaller man older?
See, they got a blur on it, and I thought, is this a photograph? Is this? That's why I didn't know if it was in time or out of time. But the way that it doesn't move reminds me of that there was something that was captured in time. Okay, so the older person that you may be referring to could be young in that picture. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know if you have a photograph or if there was a photograph, but I mean, it's deliberate. It's like, it looks like it could have been about on a beach. Like, I keep turning as if you could see the photo. Like, it makes, anyway, I can see it. It looks like it's sunny out. It looks like it was a happy time. But the main thing is that to take away from this is that you have this habit, that you have to think what other people think. And when that occurs, when you have to think what other people think, it can get very exhausting. Do you feel like you have to always be on guard and always think what other people are thinking? Do you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, they're saying that's so exhausting because it's actually keeping you away from, I don't know, education, keeping you away from, are you going to be going to school? Are you in school? Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm doing alcohol and other drugs. A rehabilitation course.
Okay, and there's something that's actually keeping you preoccupied from taking everything you could learn from that.
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, and they said it's this, and so now that I know you are, so are you able to pay for this course, or did you have an inheritance from this course? Do you know where I'm going with this? You know?
Yeah, it's being paid for. It's a government one.
Government one. Okay, so I'm not sure what this 7A, what's it? Again, it's triggered. The fact is that so whatever's being taught, whatever's being said in that course has triggered you. Now, have you had anybody in the past that acted a certain way that may be described in your courses?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm getting connected. Oh, and it's hit my head. So if you've had somebody in the past that had this particular behavior, you as a child has been very frightened because it's like, I want to approach a person or people, but so I'm going to ask, how do they treat her when she approaches? With great overwhelm.
Can you rephrase that? Sorry.
Okay, so like I'm walking up to you and you're in a pissed off mood, okay? But I don't know that. I walk up to you and I say, hey, Madison, and all of a sudden you're like, give me that fuck off look. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that energy alone, without even speaking, has, can be very overwhelming. This is by reproach. So I don't want to approach you because I know that there's a part of you that, so I learn to recoil if I come around you.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you had anybody that you felt like you wanted to talk to, but you had to recoil?
There's someone that I want to talk to, like, that's in my life at the moment. And I talk to them all the time. It's just I can't talk to them about this certain thing.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they said because you're afraid a particular outcome is going to come out, that they're going to come at you with a certain behavior, certain negative behavior that you're very afraid of.
Yes.
Like hatred.
It's kind of like in more than one person. There's certain people I've wanted to talk to about certain things, but I can't.
Right, it's this memory.
I feel like that they're gonna think a different side of me.
Exactly. And it's this memory that actually is causing you to think. That's why the RTJP, causing you to think that this is how they're going to think of me. And it actually stops you from developing in the area that you want to go to. Oh, well, I must have got it right because they're just like tapping me on the shoulder. Yeah. Okay, so to heal that, okay, remember, you have an active memory. So I'm going to ask. And they said yes. So with your permission, I'm just going to do a quick healing. Oh, make my head swim. So do I get a yes? What I'm going to do is that you can look at this later. I'll put it up on the bandwidth, and you can do this at home. You don't have to have the magnet I have. You can have a refrigerator magnet. But Do I have permission to roll out to calm this active memory down?
Yes.
Okay. So you have an active memory of reproach, an active memory of reproach, active memory of reproach, active memory of reproach. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Whoa. It just shifted. Now what is it? I said you need to take out the heart wall of inadequate. So with that, yes, do that one too. Take that out. Medicine.
Sorry?
Would you like me to roll out in heart wall inadequate?
Yes.
Okay. Heart wall and inadequate, or heart wall inadequate, heart wall and inadequate. Ooh, this is affecting my breathing. Heart wall inadequate. Well, it's like all of a sudden I want to go into like being very fearful, maybe an anxiety attack. Heart full and inadequate. Wow. I can see through your eyes as a kid, and it's like you don't know who you're supposed to talk to. You don't know who you're supposed to really connect with, is because now every adult, because I see you so small, I said every adult, because I'm looking at knees, is like this. So it's like assuming everybody is like this. Does this make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Is that hidden heart wall still there? Yes. And it's in the interaction with the environment. Okay, heart wall interaction, environment, agenda. I'm still going, so just give me a second. It's about the reproach. Now we're coming from a different angle. When you go to approach these people, do they put fear and shame near you?
No.
Do you put that on yourself?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So the fear and shame, are they still there? That is a deep one, and you would need to use a healing tool. This is where I'd say you'd need to make an appointment, because then I can tell you what positions to hold and then walk you through it. I'm going to tell you one thing though. When you think of shame, I want you to look to the left and look down, like you keep your head straight, look to the left and look down. And you're going to feel how you talk to yourself. Notice how you talk to yourself about shame and guilt and fear and shame and fear and guilt. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
And if we were to really look at that, and then all of a sudden now if you look straight up, can you smell it? Now look straight back down to the left. Is it still the same?
No, it's different.
All right, now continue, go back from the start and just think of how you talk. Think of how you talk. Now the energy should shift it. Now that that is how you should feel better. I feel like everything's shifting now. So what you did today was huge, and it can last up to 24 to 48 hours of a healing. Okay. I just held the energy. I just gave direction, but your healing is I don't really need to think this way. I really don't need to focus on that. And it's all going to rearrange itself, and you're going to be presented at maybe starting to notice that, I don't have to be shamed or shame myself. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So be aware that life can get better. You may be less fearful. And I thank you for paying for healing and a reading. I hope what I told you made sense to you, and it should make more sense. So you may end up getting to notice, and they're pushing this, that you may find a picture. You may find how it all connects, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, dear. I appreciate this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you later, dear.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, bye. So I hope you've learned from this to see that, it's sometimes it's not what you think either. It's on the spiritual level. It can really change the way that things are happening. So, I will be on tomorrow night, which is probably 6:30 in the morning for Eastern Standard Time in USA. But it'll be 9 p.m. here tomorrow night. Okay, so thank you very much for all of you being with me, communicating with me, sharing, getting the message out there so that I can keep doing this purpose. Thank you for the paid reading, paying me so I can give you the readings. That helps because that means I get to, Mama gets to eat. So, all right, thank you all. And remember, always, always stay blessed.